Hey Web3 world, Nadja reporting from day 9 of Web3 Explained. If you've just joined me on this daily vlogging quest, I'm writing a book exploring 12 Web3 use cases in 12 months. I'm also the co-founder of AdLunam, the engaged to earn investing platform, and I've been making the Web3 industry my home away from home since 2017. Now, since issue 2 of the Web3 Explained newsletter is dropping today, are you subscribed yet? And I'm deliberating what Web3 platform to use, in addition to or in place of Ghost, which I'm currently using, because it's kind of weird to write a book about Web3 and not use a Web3 service in it. I wanted to explore real briefly what the Web3 future of newsletter platforms might look like. From WordPress to Medium to Patreon, MailChimp, Substack or Ghost, creators have been everywhere and done everything to get inbox eyeballs on their content. With mixed results because, as we all know, inbox zero is a myth and we are all drowning in 17,684 emails. So what can Web3 do to help? Probably not clear out your inbox, that's AI's job. A Web3 newsletter platform could potentially have several benefits over traditional platforms like Substack and others. Decentralization. A Web3 newsletter platform being decentralized means it's not controlled by a single entity. This would make it more resistant to censorship, linking to what I spoke about in day 6 about the future of the publishing industry, as well as more transparent in terms of how it operates. Tokenization. Most Web3 newsletter platforms use tokens to reward content creators, which also allows readers to support their favorite writers. This, provided there's enough readership scalability in future, could create a more sustainable business model for creators. Another one, interoperability. A platform that's built on top of a decentralized protocol like Ethereum and others allows it to interact with other decentralized applications or dApps and take advantage of the network effect of the broader ecosystem. A good example of this, slightly off topic, is DeSo, a layer 1 blockchain that decentralizes social media, allowing developers to create DeSo apps. Lower barriers to entry. Removing the need to use a centralized platform to distribute content is actually a big one. Substack, for example, uses Stripe to process paid subscriptions. And Stripe is not available in every country, meaning that content creators from certain geographies simply can't use paid subs on Substack. Web3 alternatives could lead to a wider range of voices and perspectives being represented, which I'm sure we are all painfully aware is hell of a needed in our echo chamber world. Of course, Web3 tech in general and newsletter and content publishing platforms especially is still in its early stages, so it's anyone's guess how well benefits like these will actually be realized in practice, and ultimately which companies will come out on top or continue to exist whatsoever. RIP Steemit. See you tomorrow for day 10. It's getting along. Hello to Web3 Explained day 10. I'll be on and out in a flash today because my son has tonsillitis, so I'm playing nurse. Plus, I have to edit this video by myself. So I'm going to dedicate today's vlog just to say thank you. I made a spur-of-the-moment decision yesterday to move the newsletter over to LinkedIn after my Ghost trial came to an end. And I knew I didn't want to continue using it because A, although it's more open source than Substack, the UI UX ain't nearly as good. And B, because it simply didn't get much signups, unlike Substack where people seem to sign up way more readily. It's been only 16 hours since I published the second issue on LinkedIn, the first one being on Ghost, and the newsletter is already at 600 subscribers. Now, by contrast, more than a week of being on Ghost, and I had a grand total of 3 subscribers. Even friends and family who always subscribe when I publish somewhere new, nobody signed up. The power of LinkedIn is simply astounding. So I'm dedicating this video to say thank you to Web3 Explained LinkedIn family all around the world. The social experiment would not be anything at all without our real-time interaction. See you tomorrow for day 11. Oh, and P.S. It's my dad's birthday today, so just a shout out to another beautiful trip around the sun. See you tomorrow. Bye. Welcome to Web3 Explained Day 11. I'm getting more and more excited to announce January's use case experiment for the book, and I will be doing that next week on the Future of NFT's first show of the year. In the meantime, today I don't want to be the one to do the talking. I have a question for you. What is the future of NFT art? We'll be discussing this on the show next week, but I'm also deep diving into this topic in the book because, well, lest anyone forget, NFT art started one of the biggest feeding frenzies the Web3 world has ever seen. So, where to from here? If you have any hot takes on the topic, hit me up and let's have a chat on AdLunam's Future of NFTs or the Web3 Explained podcast. Until then, catch you tomorrow for day 12. Hey all, Nadja here, co-founder of AdLunam, the engaged to earn investing platform, and very happy, jubilant author of Web3 Explained. I was dead tired yesterday because we were up early to get to our next travel destination. And Croatia is a land of such unending beauty that you can't rest for a second because there's constantly another magnificent view right around the corner. So I couldn't wait for that moment when the day was done and I could finally go to bed. And just then did I discover that International Business Times published a feature on Web3 Explained. And that was such an incredible moment that of course I couldn't sleep. So in today's video, I just want to reflect on the fact that when you do something because you enjoy it, it has a certain kind of magic to it. I have this practice that I've been doing for going on 7 years now, where I choose a word each year that I incorporate into different parts of my life over the next 365 days. Sometimes it's very abstract. Last year it was interstitial, spaces between spaces, but sometimes it's more straightforward. Now I didn't end up choosing this one, but for a while I was deliberating making the word fun my 2023 word of the year. And that really is what this project embodies. My main goal is to write a book, but the goal that supersedes that is that I have to get as creative with myself as possible. Otherwise, I simply won't finish writing it. Speaking from years of experience here, if I'm not having fun with it, then its intended purpose, which is keeping me accountable to my writer self, won't work. So to have had so many people respond so positively to my little project so far, it's a beautiful feeling. And it reinforces for me how when you are fired up about what you're doing, the world responds to that warmth by fueling your flames. Okay, that could go both ways. So let's pinky swear, Scout's honor, that our fires are stoked to serve the collective good, not to cause any more destruction than a lot of power-hungry folk are already doing. Therefore, I am extending yet again, if you haven't heard me say this, a warm-hearted invitation to get involved with Web3 Explained. By design, I'm making it up as I go. And also by design, this ain't a solo act. So let me know what you're building, what you're thinking. If you have a product that could be a good fit for what I'm doing on any given month this year, reach out. If you'd like to be part of a panel discussion or the thought leadership interviews I'll be doing for the podcast, ditto. I am super excited. Also because my holiday is almost coming to an end, so I'll have more time to work on this. So from the absolutely beautiful Adriatic Sea, see you tomorrow for day 13. Friday the 13th. Cheers. Nadja here, and in honor of Friday the 13th, day 13 of Web3 Explained, I wanted to share something really cool, which some might consider eerily spooky. As part of January's use case experiment, I'm planning a new show. So I woke up this morning with a migraine and my brain just wasn't working. The day was lost. At the same time, I needed to get the name to the designers to finalize the logo before announcing it on next week's episode of AdLunam's The Future of NFTs. Now, here's where I'd like to sound like a TV commercial. Have you ever been temporarily incapacitated and your productivity grounded to a halt? Well, fear not. Generative AI is here. I asked ChatGPT to brainstorm me a few names. The list it came up with was boring and stale. I told it so. We went through this process 5 times. At some point, it must have gotten a little irate and suggested that I sit down and do it myself, since I'm the best judge of what I like and need. I asked it to pretend is me and continue. 9 tries after I first started. A whopping 5 minutes later, I had the perfect name. More creative than I suspect I could have pulled off had I brainstormed for a week. Still have a migraine. I can barely make this video. But it turns out my brain wasn't actually needed today. With a little tenacity, I outsourced my creativity to the point where I might have upgraded it. The future is looking more and more interesting by the day. See you tomorrow for day 14. And in the meantime, I'm going to go sleep.
Hey all, day 14 of Web3 Explained, and as you can tell, today's video is a little different. Meet my avatar, Metaverse Nadja. I'm here in the AdLunam showroom, beautifully designed by the very talented team over at Exclusible. Now, for someone who's writing a book about the state and the future of Web3, having already given 6 years of my life to this industry, it's clear that a positive future is very important to me. We are early, and I'm here for the early, no matter how long it may take, as long as we are systematically headed in the right direction. And yet, I had a really concerning conversation last night with someone in a highly technical, very senior role in a majorly significant Web3 company. Talking hype versus utility, this insider, someone who works with some of the best companies in the space, said something that both shocked and saddened me. An unwavering belief that the Web3 industry is destroying itself from the inside out, and that our dreams of the technology changing the world has become nothing but a layer of veneer that glosses over the fact that unabashed greed is causing the industry to eat itself alive. I mean, it's difficult to refute that, but at least we have the utility argument, right? Yeah, here I am in the metaverse. I'm reflecting on how the tech giant, formerly known as Facebook, has become a joke to the world because Meta is all in on the metaverse, and yet the metaverse is pretty much nowhere just yet. At the same time, of course, the generative AI scene has exploded from a user-based perspective, million users in 5 days, and the world is busy changing literally overnight. Everyone and their cousin has a new best artificial friend. I had a really hard time changing my avatar's outfit today. The one you see here was randomly generated, and I didn't even find anything to replace it with. The options available were super limited, completely not my style, and the cheapest platform-compatible outfit I could find on the open market was roughly $80 for a single virtual outfit, which, based purely on my own style preferences, I wouldn't have wanted to wear for free, but not exactly democratizing, is it? Now, if I head over to my free wardrobe choices, I see a lot of branded stuff, so there's definitely big brand market positioning happening, which as an industry professional, it's nice to see them entering the space. It's validating. But as simply a user, it neither impresses me nor does it help me in any way. I still don't have an outfit to wear to express who I am. And I, simply as a user, don't really care about the future prospects of what this technology can do. I just want to have a good experience right here, right now, or you lose me. Utility. So the question that we should all be asking ourselves today, as Web3 builders, where are we going wrong? Because we are. we might not want to admit this to ourselves, but this is a tightrope that we are walking. And being seen as a circus industry is not doing anyone any good. People are getting hurt. Many heroes have fallen, taking the industry and invested trust with them as they very, very publicly and painfully crashed and burned in front of the whole world, revealing themselves to be the worst kind of clowns. At this point, it's almost normal to wait in anticipation for the next scandal to hit the media. Of course, at the same time, things of greatness aren't usually achieved through easy, mediocre means. So we know what to do, and we are doing it. Big shout out to everyone with skin in the game who's working to make a positive difference. We are a collective, and if the majority is to reference Dungeons and Dragons, lawfully good, neutral good, or even chaotic good, then we are the tipping point that could move the needle away from excessive greed and relentless scams. But we've got our work cut out for us. So see you tomorrow for day 15 of Web3 Explained.
Happy Sunday, Nadja here, bringing you day 15 of Web3 Explained. Since I'm announcing the January use case on AdLunam's Future of NFT show next week, I'll be doing some overviews over the next few days that'll give you a bit of a sneak peek about what this month's experiment is all about. Now, to start off, let's recap, because there's newbies in the audience as well. NFT stands for non-fungible token. In a nutshell, an NFT is a type of digital asset representing ownership of a unique item. There are many use cases for NFTs, and one of my goals in creating Web3 Explained is to illustrate what this tech can be used for in the real world in real time. Today I'm going to focus on a very specific application, which also happens to be one of the most publicized use cases for NFTs. NFT art. This made global headlines in 2021 when an art piece by Beeple was sold for $69 million at the auction house Christie's and has been in and out of the news ever since. NFT art is a digital artwork represented by an NFT, aka a digital ownership certificate. NFTs can be bought and sold on the blockchain marketplaces. Think digital and specifically blockchain equivalent of a jewelry store that issues you a certificate for your ring, for example. And because of blockchain technology, ownership can be tracked and verified. Now, the history of NFT art can be traced all the way back to the early days of the internet, when digital art was created and shared online. But it wasn't until the advent of blockchain technology and the creation of NFTs in the early 2010s that digital art could easily be bought and sold as a unique and a scarce item. All the way back in 2012, a technical paper about colored coins by Manny Rosenfield laid the tracks for the later invention of NFTs, so the tech itself has come a long way. The first NFT art sale took place 2014, a piece created by digital artist Kevin McCoy, but it wasn't until 2017 that the market really began to gain traction. CryptoPunks, now one of the most popular PFPs, aka Picture for Proof, NFTs that are used as profile pictures on social media, were the NFT OGs, original gangster that implies someone was very early to a movement. And they were some of the first ever NFTs to be given away for free. This was followed by the game CryptoKitties, created during an Ethereum hackathon, which quickly became so popular that it actually clogged the Ethereum blockchain for a while. I was a blockchain journalist at the time, and it clogged news headlines just the same. That's also what led to the start of NFT gaming. Think Decentraland as an early mover, NFT gaming launchpads like Engine Starter, one of AdLunam's partners and advisors, and Axie Infinity. By 2021, Collins Dictionary named NFT as their word of the year. Mine was listen. That's when the NFT art market was exploding, really starting to go mainstream. with literally billions of dollars worth of NFT art having been sold to date. This also gave rise to an ever-growing and extremely collaborative and supportive community of NFT artists and collectors. Now, 2022's crypto winter and the largely collapsed market value has definitely put a temporary dent in NFT art as a way for artists to monetize their work and collectors to invest in art. But this is by no means the end. In countries like China, where NFTs are known as digital collectibles due to the strong-armed government opposition to decentralized technologies, 2022 was a hot year with many major companies, including the government, working to launch their own collections. So, as we look with a lot of uncertainty to the NFT art market of 2023 and beyond, one thing is clear. The rules of engagement will be rewritten once again, a given for any corner of the Web3 space after a bear market. And one of the reasons we appreciate bear markets. So we'll talk some more about NFTs and NFT art tomorrow. See you then for day 16. Cheers.